How is it going, everyone? We are once again here to take a look at some Black Friday deals, and this is from VGP.com, VideoGamesPlus.ca. This is low-key one of the best spots to buy games from. I actually, personally, just recently picked up some games from there, and yeah, their deals are kind of nuts. They are beating out a lot of offers on a lot of other spots, and they've got some really, really good stuff discounted. Now, you will see the Canadian prices listed, but in the bottom left corner, you can change it to USD, and a lot of the prices turn out really well. Now, you do want to crack $75, so you do get free shipping. If you have to pay for shipping, you guys know that always like breaks any good deals online. So with that being said, got a bunch of deals to go over, so let's get right into it. First of all, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, $42.56 on this. It's $49.99 at a lot of spots, but $42.56, even better. One of my favorite games of the year, really not nominated for a lot of Game of the Year awards, given that it is a remake, and generally speaking, remakes don't get nominated for Game of the Year unless it's like something like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, where it does change some things up. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is pretty true to the original, and I had a great time with it. However, I totally understand why people were a little bit apprehensive to drop $70 on the game, but at $42 and change, I really do think this is a great pickup, and I would definitely recommend it. And yes, you know, it's a game you can complete in 15 to 18 hours, maybe even a little bit quicker than that, depending on how well you know the game and what difficulty you play on. But, you know, it's one of those games that's so good that I'm gonna go back and play through this game so many times. I actually want to do another playthrough of it before the year's up, and, you know, if you want to check it out now, 42 and change is, I think, a really good deal. So definitely would recommend that. Great price point on that. And if you're trying to hit that $75 threshold, that is definitely going to get you pretty close right off the jump. Next up, we have Metaphor ReFantazio. The best deal I've seen for this, it's $28.37. Sub 30 bucks for Metaphor is an awesome pickup. You guys know how I feel about this game. I thought it was the best game of 2024. I thought the game was just absolutely tremendous. And, you know, I like the Persona games. I'm not as crazy about them as a lot of other people, but I definitely like the games. Metaphor, I personally thought was at another level. I thought narratively, the game was incredible. And I thought the plot twists in the game, yeah, you can kind of see them coming. Maybe you can even say you can see them coming a mile away, but I think all of it makes sense. I really, really like the narrative in this game. I like the story as well. The characters were likable. Overall, for $28.37, just a great, great game, and I want to do another playthrough of this at some point, but, you know, the difference with Delta Snake Eater is a game I can complete over the course of a weekend. Metaphor ReFantazio, to do another playthrough of this, it's gonna be like, you know, 80 hours, and I don't know if I'm really equipped for that right now. Maybe sometime down the line, but definitely I'm gonna go back and play this again at some point. Just love this game, thought it was great. Next up, Death Stranding 2. This is on sale for $46.11, so a little bit cheaper than the $50 that a lot of other spots have it for. Death Stranding 2 is my second favorite, or tied for my favorite game of the year, around that range. You know, Expedition 33 is great, but Death Stranding 2 was incredible as well. And I thought Death Stranding 1 was a great game. I think Death Stranding 2 is so much better. And again, I really like Death Stranding 1, but Death Stranding 2, I think the more cohesive narrative, it being a little bit easier to follow, and then the gameplay, a little bit more focus on the combat, while still having a lot of emphasis on the traversal and getting from point A to point B. I just thought from a design standpoint, this game was remarkable. It seemingly didn't do like gangbuster numbers commercially, but I really hope some people go back and check it out. I just think the original Death Stranding was such a divisive game that some people might not want to give the sequel a shot, especially if they didn't beat the first game. Like, you need to beat the first game before you play Death Stranding 2, but Death Stranding 2 I thought was fantastic. Highly recommend it for $46 and change. Definitely a great pickup there. Next up, we got Persona 3 Reload, $14.18 on that. I talked about how much I liked Metaphor, but also Persona 3 Reload was a solid game as well. It's a ground-up remake of Persona 3, and I think it's a really, really solid remake. However, Persona 3 does have some dated elements. For example, the Tartarus does show its age a little bit, and the dungeon design on that, but from a character standpoint, soundtrack standpoint, the game is fantastic, and for $14 and change, I would definitely say this is a great pickup. Like, if you need a couple games to pick up that are worthwhile and that'll get you to that $75 mark, P3R, one of the best ones you can pick up. Another JRPG here, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is $17.73. The cheapest price on a lot of spots is around the $20 range, so this is a little bit cheaper, and FF7 Remake is great. You definitely should play this game before you play Rebirth. Rebirth is a better game, but Remake is still really solid and a worthwhile game to go through. I had a great time with it, and for $17.73, you get the intermission expansion as well. Great pickup, and not a super lengthy JRPG either. You can complete this game in around 30 hours, and, you know, sometimes the 80-hour JRPGs can get a little bit daunting. 30 hours sometimes is where you want to be at, and if you want to do all the content, it'll be a little bit longer, and especially with intermission and whatnot, but I think for $17.73, there's a really good pickup. And then Rebirth is down to $24.82, a little bit cheaper than the offers on a lot of spots where they have it for $30. I mean, $24.82 for Rebirth is fantastic. A lot of people had this as their game of the year in 2024. I would probably put it at number 2. Like, I thought it was a damn good game, but I thought Metaphor was a little bit better, but Rebirth is also much better than Remake. Very similar to Death Stranding 2 over Death Stranding 1. Rebirth expands the game, and yeah, there's still some pacing issues. Some of it feels a little bit like fluff, but I think overall it is a really, really worthwhile game to go through. Soundtrack is great, story is really solid, and I like the changes that they're making. The original FF7 can exist on its own, and Rebirth can exist on its own, and for $24.82, fantastic deal on that. Next up, we got Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, $14.18 on this. Great deal for Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth as well. This is around the same price it is on Amazon. It's 15 bucks on Amazon, but a little bit cheaper. Obviously, I would recommend you to, at the very least, play Yakuza Like a Dragon, and ideally, you want to play some of the Kiryu games as well, and you'll have a much better time with Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth when you do have the appreciation for Kiryu as a character and Ichiban's story in Yakuza Like a Dragon, but Infinite Wealth is a gigantic game as well, so $14.18 on that. Good pickup there for sure. We got Sonic Frontiers, $17.73 on that. This is kind of held at this price, but in a lot of physical games, they get down to that $15 to $17, $18 range, and that's kind of the lowest price that you'll get them at. Sonic Frontiers is great, though, and I highly recommend it. It's a great Sonic game, and there are some issues from a gameplay standpoint, but I feel like they've laid the foundation of something they can evolve from pretty well, and I would say for this price point, it's a great pickup. Definitely give that a recommendation, so check that out. Phenomenal soundtrack as well. Honestly, I've said it before, but Sonic Frontiers has a soundtrack that goes so hard that I feel like it doesn't have the right to go as hard as it does, but nevertheless, $17 and change on that. Astro Bot is $35.47, a little bit cheaper than what it's available for on a lot of other spots where it's $40, but $35.47 for what did end up winning Game of the Year. I probably wouldn't have it at Game of the Year, but it was a damn good game, and if it was just that too hefty of a price when you heard that it was 12 to 14 hours long and you want to get it a little bit cheaper, I think $35 is a great price point, so definitely a good pickup there. Really solid shout for $35.47, and a great platformer as well. Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, $24.82 on this. This is a fantastic deal for a game that just came out earlier this year. I'm a big I mean, everybody loves Majima. I don't have to say I'm a big Majima guy. Everybody's a big Majima guy, but him getting his own game, even if it's a smaller spin-off title, I was so on board with it. I thought the pirate gimmick and the naval combat was pretty well done, and overall a really solid game. Again, a little bit shorter, but worthwhile. Not every game needs to be Infinite Wealth, and I thought Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza's get in, get out kind of approach, and if you want to do all of the content, this is still a vast undertaking that I would highly recommend. We have Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance Standard Edition, $14.18 on this as well. I wasn't crazy about this game. I didn't get into it as much as a lot of other people, but I still think it's a game that a lot of people will end up enjoying if you like the darker tone to it and you like the monster collecting aspect to a game, you'll end up having a pretty good time with it. I think for $14.18, it's a good pickup. I mean, it's super cheap, and you do have 2 playable routes in this game. That gives it a little bit of replayability. And then lastly, I do want to give a shout to Persona 5 Strikers, which is $3.54. This is kind of just an add-on item, but I thought P5 Strikers was a damn good game. I know not everybody was crazy about Persona 5 getting a Musou-style game, but I thought it was really, really well done. And a lot of things that make Persona is a lot of the aesthetic choices, the presentation, the music, and all of that still remains in P5 Strikers, and you get all of that in a Musou action game, which I love the Musou games. I love fast-paced action games. Are they my favorite genre in the world? No, but they're worthwhile and fun games to go through. I thought P5 Strikers was exactly that. For $3 and change, you kidding me? That's a great deal. And I would recommend it. It was a PlayStation Plus Essential title, not a while ago, but yeah, $3.54 for a physical copy is a great deal. And that's gonna do it for me. Again, I might do some more shopping at VGP. Honestly, might get some gifts for some of my buddies, and it's a great spot. So that Delta Snake Eater deal, man, $42 on that. That's a great pickup. I'm gonna try to put some of my buddies on that because I've been talking up Snake Eater for a long time. It's been like 20 years since the game initially came out, but the the remake is really well done, but I know a lot of you guys were waiting on a discount, but $42 might not be as low as some of you guys want, but that's a great pickup, and that Metaphor deal is really good as well, so good shout there as well. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, sound off there. If you pick anything up, let me know. I saw some of you guys did some shopping on VGP in the comment section, so that's great stuff. Probably will be covering them more if they have great deals like this, so that'll do it for me. Your thoughts down below. As always, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.